Today I'm going to show you how to make a mini slab low relief sculpture. The first thing that you have to do is measure out a 5 by 7 rectangle. Now here are some tools that you might have available: a Crayola marker, a wooden roller, or a full can of pop. I would suggest folding over either your canvas or your piece of cloth and then rolling so that the clay does not stick to the tool that you are using. You're going to roll out your piece of clay into a slab. A slab is best rolled to 1/4 inch or the height of a pencil. Now you're going to cut out your 5 by 7 rectangle from your template or your piece of paper. Put it on top of your 1/4 inch slab and using a tool, gently trace around your template. After you've traced lightly around your template, take the piece of paper off and either use a needle tool, a plastic butter knife, or a wooden sharpened dowel rod. Dip it in the water and then slowly press a little bit harder on the lines that you've made. You're going to continue to dip the tool in the water and then slowly press all the way down so that you get clean lines and edges. Now you're going to take the image that you drew on your sketch paper, whether you used guided access to trace or drew freehand. Here are two ways to transfer your image onto the clay. The first one is to press really hard with pencil, put the pencil face down on your slab, and rub really hard. When you peel the paper back, you will have an imprint of the lead that transferred onto the clay. The other option is to put your drawing face up on the slab of clay. You're going to take a pencil that is not too sharp and you are going to lightly indent, tracing around your drawing with that pencil. You're going to go as fast as you can so that the paper does not get soggy and want to stick to that slab of clay. It's going to a little bit, but that's all right. You can always peel that wet paper away. If the paper does stick, it's not a big deal. You can either take it off or allow it to burn off in the kiln. Now you're going to actually cut away the outside or the outline of your drawing. Take a tool and make sure that you're dipping it in water constantly so that you get nice clean edges as you cut away your image. Now you can either take a tool or your fingers and dip them into water and rub away any of those rough edges. Now we're going to take a little bit of clay and start building the face into a 3D image. I have a little bit of clay that I'm rolling into a little coil, and that is going to be the lines that are going to go above the eyebrows. Now remember, anytime you're going to add clay onto another piece of clay, we want to score and add either a little bit of water or a little bit of slip. This will ensure that the pieces that you're adding are going to dry at the same rate as the piece underneath it. If they dry at different times, all of that hard work that you're going to do to add your details will be for nothing because all of your details will just pop off. When clay dries, it shrinks, and it has to dry and shrink at the same time. In addition to using slip as a glue, I also use a little bit of slip to fill in any gaps in between two pieces that I've added. Now, in addition to adding things on top, it's also important to indent some parts so that they look really 3D. The needle tool and the paintbrush are really helpful when you're trying to get into small areas that your fingers can't necessarily get into very easily. Now I want to make a textured background for my slab. Now with this texture plate, you can use your hand, or I'm using a marker just to press those textured lines into that slab below. You don't have to press super hard, but firm enough that the design transfers down. I cut off any of the extra that I didn't need, and now I'm scoring my background to then put the bowl onto its backing. I score not only that background piece, but I'm also scoring the back of my design. Adding a little bit of slip and a little bit of water. And now I'm going to set it where I need to in the center and then press down. I'm going to try to press all around my design to make sure that there's no air bubbles trapped below it. If there's an air bubble that's trapped in between the two layers, the top piece will actually blow off of that slab. So we want to make sure that there's no air gaps. I'm going to take my tools and make sure everything is in place, clean up any lines that I need to. And now we have a 3-layered mini slab. Background layer is that textured lines, the bull's head is the middle ground, and the lines on the face are the foreground.